Hello everybody, this is Shinobi. This is going to be a Sana Hero Spotlight video. So I have got two of my Legos at Awakened 5 and Sana is one of them. She has been a really good carry for me. I've been able to use her in a lot of areas and she was one of those who are responsible to get me to Hell Stage 10-4, right? So I'm now at Hell Stage 10-4. I hope to get higher level soon. It'll take a little bit of time. I need to tweak my gear. The gears are like, not the best because I'm still at the early stages of my game. But anyways, Sana is like, has been a good carry for me. She has helped me out a lot. And even though her base stats are not the greatest of the base stats for any of the attack heroes, she still has got a lot of things going on for her. So if you look at Wheel Shots IMR Master Sheet, you will see Sana is at the lower end of her attack. So her base attack is 4082. Okay, so if you look at the legendary averages, the mean is 4118, the median is 4209, and the highest is 4420. So she's nowhere close to any of these legendary averages. She's got only 4082 going on for her, and her defense is 4007 and her HP is 40,449, and she's got a base speed of 990. So when you look at her base stats, she's not at the top end of the tier, but she is at one of the best. She's one of the best of the starting heroes, something that you can easily you should surely take to Awaken 5. It's because of her skills. So her skills are what makes her really good as a carry and will help you out in the future. So what are her skills? So her skill 1, Wind Chain Shot, it deals 2 stages of 110% attack damage each to a single enemy and increases self turn meter by 5%. So even though her speed is only 990, when she's using her skill 1, she is increasing her turn meter by 5%. So it's not it's not separate for both the stages. It's like when she does both her stages, she gains that 5% increase. So it's not 10% increase, it's just 5% increase. But she's when you skill her up, she deals like 150% attack damage to a single enemy, right? So this is really good. So her exclusive on this would be that if she lands a crit, it doubles the increased turn meter. That means it will increase to 10% if you are getting her to exclusive 2, that is E2. Okay, her skill 2, Fluid Combo, this is a really good skill. Like, even if you're not landing a crit hit on the enemy, you're still gaining 30% crit damage for each of the stage. So she deals 3 stages of 150%, which can be increased to 180% attack damage, and this is to a single enemy. It's not an AoE skill, just like skill 1. It's a single enemy, target 1, and when you do the first hit, you gain 30% crit damage bonus for each of the stage. So for the first stage, when you're hitting it, you gain 30% crit damage extra, right? So you're getting increased damage out of this skill, and then it increases crit damage bonus to the next stage to 45% when this skill lands a crit. So if the first hit or the first stage was a crit hit, then the next stage is 45% crit damage. If the second stage is again a crit hit, then the third stage is also 45% crit damage. But if the second stage is a normal hit, then it's going to be like, the next stage would be 30% crit damage. But in all the cases, like, she has got this increased crit damage coming on for her that gives her more damage and makes her much more useful. So even if her attack stat is lower, this makes up for that difference in the attack stat. Okay, her ultimate, her last skill, it increases Sana's crit rate by 50% for 2 turns. So it starts by increasing her crit rate, and afterwards deal 3 stages of 80% attack damage, increased to 95% attack damage to all enemies, and self gains a 30% crit damage bonus. She's also getting a crit damage bonus from her ultimate, her last skill. So this skill has an additional 25% piercing rates against targets with less than 50%. So she's got crit rate increased, so you only have to build her up to like 50% crit rate. But I have got her built up to 72% crit rate. That's because I wanted to guarantee maximize the crit hit from her on a skill 1 and skill 2 as well. But you don't really have to build her to that kind of a crit rate. You just have to build her up to 50% and you automatically gain 50% more from her skill 2, because for 2 turns you're anyhow going to get the crit rate up for 50%. So at present my crit rate up is like I have built her at an over requirement, but you can actually get this crit rate increase from her ultimate. So that makes her really cool, really good for progression, because she's able to deal more damage. She's got increased crit rate and she's got increased crit damage with built into her kit, right? So her exclusive 3, if you are able to get that, increases 50% crit rate for all allies for 2 turns. So she can be your crit rate buffer if you are able to get her to exclusive level 3. So that's why she's like really good, even though her base stats are not at the top tier of the attack heroes, but still she is one of the best that can be there. So this is the equipment I gave her to get me to that 319 or 24,000 attack stat, 319k HP. So I'm using a leech set on her. I'm still using leech set. Unfortunately, I have to use that because she doesn't have, if she takes hits, she's also taking a lot of damage, right? And I want that damage to be that HP to be recovered as soon as possible. And because of her damage, the amount of damage she's able to deal, her HP recovers pretty fast, very fast. So you can see I've got her built at around 1599 speed. She's got like 72.6 crit rate, and her crit damage is at 187%. So when she gets that 30% increase in when she gets that crit damage bonus, so that takes you over 200% in crit damage just because of her skill, right? And I've tried to reduce the effect hit, but I have not yet got that kit that makes her that gives her that reduced crit hit. But this is quite good for me. This is working well for me. So she's got if you look at her gear, I've got 2 crit rate over here, healing effect, attack rate, crit rate, attack, effect resistance, and speed. I don't need that effect resistance, but can't help it. That's what I got. And I'm using a wild set on her, so a leech set plus a wild set, so that I can get that increased crit rate and the attack percent. I will be changing this wild set when I'm able to, get sufficient enough crit rate from other places. But at this moment, I'm using this wild set. I'll be preferably be using a better attack set than a wild set. And the final set also has got sufficient attack rate increase, and I wish that effect it was not there, because she's not dealing any debuff. I don't need any affected. I should have got an HP rate or attack rate, but that's what the roles are. So I've got a crit rate Fang over here. That's because I wanted to ensure that my Sana always lands a crit hit. And this one is, again, unfortunately, I've got an affected. Why am I using an affected one? I should be using this one. No, that would just be decreasing my crit rate. I think I can use this one. Did I just change it in between? I think I might have changed it in between. Or I can simply use this one. Why use that? Yeah, this is much better. Even though the defense has gone down, I think I should be getting that equipped. Let's try with this gear. Okay, so let's give it a go on the Faction Abyss. So I'm currently at stage 13. So let's see if she's able to do that, even though my Horus is not fully built. Okay, he's just a vanilla guy. I haven't done anything, just gave him some gear, just so that you saw the damage that she dealt. She just one shot that Soli over there. So let's just have a look at the how good her damage is, because she's got that crit damage on her. She's able to deal so much of damage that she's practically just one-shotting people with her ultimate. Her skill 1 is not dealing that enough damage because she didn't have that crit damage increase on her. But at this moment, you can see that she's got that crit rate up, and she's getting from her skill 2 and her skill 3, she's getting that increased damage out of it. So she's able to one-shot people pretty easily because of that. And basically, she can solo this flow if she wants to. But I don't think she'll be able to do the next one, because the next one deals quite a lot of damage, and if I'm horrified, I just get stuck there. So yeah, so you can see the kind of damage, you can see that crit damage that she's dealing and the heals she's able to get, because she's always able to top herself up because of the damage she's dealing. So if you're giving her a leech set, she'll always be able to top herself up. But the 79k on one stage, each stage, 64k, 130k, that's like a huge amount of damage that's been dealt by her, single-handedly taking out that boss over there and able to top herself up with the leech set. If you don't give her the leech set, obviously she's not going to heal herself up, and just being able to clear off the stage without any additional problems. So let's just see if she can. I'm just trying to see if she'll be able to go to the next stage using this one. Let's see if she's able to do that. Come on, where is it? Why isn't it going here? Yeah, let's just try and see what kind of damage and how low she can do. Even though I'm sure that she did not one-shot this solely, but that's okay. She should have. She's not gained her skill. Speed up. Now she got that speed turn meter increase because she did her skill 1. So. And because of that, she was able to hit twice because she gained her turn meter over there. Now you can see that she's almost topping herself up because of that skill that she's using. And her turn meter increase is so real good that you can actually get additional turns out of her simply because she's getting that 5% increase in her turn meter, which is not a huge amount of increase, but still that is sufficient for her to survive. Unfortunately, over there I got stunned, and so I may not be surviving this one because I got stunned once. But let's see how it goes. I hope I'm able to deal something over here. Come on. Oh no, I'll not survive. Oh yeah, I'm surviving because of that increase in turn meter. That's great. I just got my turn meter increased by the skill 1, so yep, I survived. So she's able to clear off the waves. Let's see if she's able to take out the boss. This is the first time I'm trying with her at this stage, so let's see if she's able to deal enough damage and get herself healed up and be able to survive. I don't think so. Oh yeah, she didn't get horrified, but those bosses and those minions over there, they've got so much of HP on her. I don't think she'll survive. Yeah, so you can see that she is able to deal massive amount of damage. I need a little bit more better gear on her. She's not at reached that stage where I can use her and clear off that stage 14 at this moment. I think if I'm able to get a little bit more crit damage on her and slightly bit more attack on her, I think I should be able to clear off that stage, because I want her to get almost 50% of her HP back when she's using a skill 1. That will take a long time for me because I have to farm up those gears and then build up the hero in that way. Possibly in probably a few weeks time I should be able to get to that stage, but at present I have to use her in this manner. And you can see that she is also helping me out in stage 21 of my red mark tower, along with Sigmund. Of course, Sigmund's HP burn is quite massive when it comes to dealing damage to the boss, but at the same time she's also able to deal sufficient damage on the boss and on the minions. I missed out a crit hit over there, but that's okay. So I did not discuss about her passive. We'll talk that as soon as this run is finished. Her passive is also helping her out in dealing damage, especially against bosses. So the more she gets that passive on her, the more damage she's able to deal. So I'll talk about that as soon as we finish off this run. So you can see that's the level of damage that she's able to deal, and that crit damage and the increased crit rate is helping her out. I wish I had it exclusive 3, then all my heroes would also have been able to do the same thing, because they would also have gained that 50% crit rate for at least for 2 turns. So that massive 95k per hit, you cannot get that kind of a damage using many of the other heroes, because they're not getting that increased crit damage, right? So they will only get that increased crit damage. She's only able to get that increased crit damage because of that passive she has, of that skill that she has. Why am I not going back? Come on, I'm tapping on main city. Okay, so let's quickly look at her passive. So you'll see that Sana's turn meter cannot be reduced, and she gains 1 layer of sharp arrow each time she lands a crit, increasing 1% speed and 1% direct damage. She can get up to 30 of these, right? I'm sorry, she can be stacked up to 10 layers. I'm sorry, it's not 30. Even though the number was 30, she can stack it up to 10 layers, and that means that she's going to get 10% increase in her direct damage and also 10% increase in her speed. So she's effectively getting more speed out of this, and she's also able to deal more damage. I will be taking her to exclusive 1 because in this one she gets the crit damage dealt by Sana has got 25% more piercing rate. That means she'll be ignoring a percentage of the defense. So she's got 25% more piercing rate, and that means she'll be ignoring a certain percentage of the defense of the enemy, up to 25% of that percentage, right? So she's got like a lot of things that goes on for her to deal more damage on the enemies, and that's the reason why I built her up. I was quite happy that I got her, even though I could have, I should have been building my Megan. I should have been building my I got Horus and my Slyvele quite later in the game. Those are the two heroes that I'll be building after this, and possibly build up my Margarita and my Megan. But I also have to build some the blue mark heroes and green mark heroes, so that I can finish off those towers as well, but that's going to be at a later time. At this moment, Sana has been really good for me. If you have her, do not worry about building her. Do build her. She will help you out in your progression. Yes, the gear requirements can grow higher as you go higher up in the stage, but then as you go higher up in the stages, you will also be farming better gear, right? So you should be able to cover up her gear requirement as she goes up. Every hero in this game requires very good gear for us to finish off at 1210 or at stage 25. But she's also a really good AoE hero for you to deal more damage, and also to get those extra turns. She's going to get her speed increased, she's going to get her turn meter increased, and all these allows you to take more turns, deal more damage, and she's also able to survive herself up if you're giving her leech, giving her a good leech set, and because she's dealing massive damage, she almost always is able to top herself up, right? So that's it from me. This hero is something that if you have, you can build up and be satisfied with it. So I hope you will like this video. Please like and share this video, and do subscribe to my channel. Yep, so that's it from me. Peace, love, and blessing to all of you. Shinobi out. Bye.